We have 96 rules before we eat the food, 57 rules before we speak, how to excrete. We have 1024 rules. You bring out the full potential of the body, start with heart and allow your body to live 125 years without getting any kind of illness or sickness.
So I can prevent any disease if I don't overstimulate my five senses: ears, nose, eyes, touch.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me something about Jain food in detail.
We have a tradition of having cool foods, means milk or halwa. You get acidity in the evening. You may get acidity in the morning. Have you ever heard anybody saying that I have acidity in the afternoon? Because the sun helps you to heal. Or only three things: eat cool things in the morning, eat cool things in the evening, and eat spicy things in the afternoon. If you follow into three things, then also you can overcome all the sickness and illness coming out of nutrition. Butter is not fully cooked. Butter is half cooked food. Similarly, honey is also not only cooked, and if you consume these things, they have that capacity to create depressions also. They have that capacity for memory loss also, for Alzheimer also. Water is the most important ingredient for longevity and fire in our body.
Dr. Muni Adarsh is a visionary Jain monk, spiritual scientist, and India's world record holder for diabetes reversal. As the founder of Prasuk Wellness System and the creator of groundbreaking Sequent strategy, he's pioneering a new model of education and wellness rooted in ancient Jain wisdom, yet deeply relevant to the modern world. Once a dyslexic child,
There are 21 kinds of waters in Jainism.
Yes, healing water. Healing waters means alkaline waters. Like one of them is the water soaked with rice. This water helps you in healing each and every acidic sickness. Then gooseberries water. I have healed more than 5,000 people of arthritis. We don't consume boiled water also after 7 hours. Suppose in the morning we have boiled the water in the morning at suppose 7 o'clock. After 3 o'clock we don't use that water to drink. There is a mahim halwa in Mumbai. If you eat mahim halwa for 45 days, a normal person can heal this hair fall. Red chilies should be banned. We should not eat red chilies. Red chili powder, it causes Alzheimer. When we do fasting, black pepper is a medicine for us. It helps to stabilize the acids in the intestine. If you are not having sunlight falling on the food, or if you don't have the sunlight falling in your kitchen, the person whose kitchen is without sunlight is always sick. Gallbladder stones are not stones. They are the accumulation of the different toxins of oils. You just need to do this kind of fasting. Means boiled grains and pulses. You have boiled dal chawal every day for 45 days and your gallbladder stone vanishes. We celebrate by leaving the body, and that is the highest kind of fasting in Jainism. It is known as Anshan Sandhara.
This kind of a death which happens after fasting can lead me to liberation?
Yes.
100%?
Yes.
today he holds double PhDs in preventive health sciences and Jain philosophy, and his one school model empowers both children and adults with purpose, values and soul-aligned learning. We're honored to have with us on today's spiritual episode of the Body to Being podcast, Dr. Muni Adarsh.
Non-vegetarian, honey, butter, cheese or vichalit ras like paneer. These foods are overstimulants. They don't help you spiritually or to live a longer life for longevity.
Namaskaram, Muniji.
Namaste.
Muniji, Jainism gives a lot of importance to wellness. In Jainism, wellness is seen as more of a preventive rather than cure, which means if I follow the Jain way of living, eating, I can prevent the onset of several diseases that I could attract in the future. Please tell us about this in detail.
Jainism emphasizes on preventive wellness. The first sentence of preventive wellness itself says, Tigicham nabhinandijja. Don't go for the procedure of curative medicine, the testing and the surgery and the medicine and the drugs. This all is very tamasic. Don't you feel when you go in a hospital, people are crying, and when the surgery is done, the whole body is so weird. Does anybody likes to see the operations? Nobody likes to see the operations. It is already said that body is a kind of gutter in our many scriptures, many Indian ancient scriptures. So, Tegicham Nabi Nandeja. Don't go for such kind of tamasic procedures. Instead, stay well and forever stay well. For 125 years minimum you can stay well. This is emphasized by Jainism. Whereas in schools when we were small, we were only taught one line. Prevention is better than cure. But for 10, 12 years, we studied so much of science, health, and wellness. Nobody told us what is prevention. But Jainism says that. And who realized this? This was realized by Canada and USA space universities. When NASA went in the space and wanted to send human beings in the space where there is no earth, no water, no sunlight, no natural elements, when a body has to sustain itself without any natural elements, how will they live over there? That's why they came to know what is the importance of preventive wellness. And now they found Jain scriptures speaking about preventive wellness. If you want to define preventive wellness in one line, leave everything. A person should understand only one thing, that is, don't stimulate anything you possess. Don't stimulate your mind, don't stimulate your eyes, don't stimulate your ears, like the rock and the bass band. Don't stimulate. Like too much of watching bright colors. Don't stimulate. Too much of smell. Don't stimulate.
Perfumes, people are drenched in perfumes these days.
Too much of tastes. Don't stimulate. Because when you stimulate them, they get more and more under pressure and more used. And actually, this is the simple science behind our body getting ill. We don't have to allow any of our organ or sensory organ to get spilled out or to get stimulated. This is simple preventive wellness.
So I can prevent any disease if I don't overstimulate my five senses: ears, nose, eyes, touch.
There are many things like don't stimulate your food. Don't stimulate your food means don't have over quantity food. Don't stimulate your sapta dhatu of body, rasa, rakta, mansa, meda, asthi, majja, shukra. Don't stimulate them. Don't stimulate your breath. You run. Nowadays, people in gym and they just run and they just walk and they die within 10 years. They die within 5 years. Don't stimulate. Don't stimulate.
In fact, Muniji, an Ayurvedic person, an Ayurvedacharya, was giving me an insight that now this is not coming from me before the viewers attack me. An Ayurvedacharya told me this, that in a study conducted, it was found that a lot of marathon runners had slightly shorter lives than people who weren't marathon runners. And I'm assuming that the science is this, right? Overstimulation of your body or legs or heart for that matter.
So don't be lazy also and don't overstimulate also. To live in a balance, that is Jainism.
I should not do a lot of binge watching, which is a huge thing these days. I should not be listening to a lot of music, right? Again, a huge thing these days. I should not be doing too much gymming, too much running.
Yes.
Being drenched in a lot of fragrances. And of course, eating foods which are very stimulating in nature, right?
So while we are talking about stimulations, in Sanskrit there is one sentence. It is said, Ati sarvatra varjayet. Anything in excess is poison. Too much of going under rains, too much of standing under heat, too much of bearing the cold. These all actually stimulate your body. It's not only about sensory organs, but it's about each and every body organ and body part.
You said that it's just not about overstimulating the five senses. You should also not be overstimulating your organs. Can you give us some real life examples where people are overstimulating their organs and are running into issues or might run into issues in the future?
Watching movies that affects your brain, so much of input, over emotions, over stimulation in emotions, that also gives you cancer. These recent researches say that whenever irritation is created inside you, just now we said stimulation. Now after stimulation, there is another thing, that is irritation. Whenever irritation is created inside you, whether mental, whether physical, whether spiritual, one layman was there. He used to have food before the sunset and everything used to follow very nicely. But then also he got cancer. When we counseled them, when our Guruji counseled him, that time he came to know that he was undergoing a lot of mental pressure and mental irritation. He used to get irritated by seeing anybody not following Jainism. And that is why he got cancer. So stimulations, irritations are not only physical, not only organic, but they are also mental, emotional and spiritual. So about these stimulations and irritations, if we move further, now I will tell you about the whole anatomy and physiology given in this preventive wellness system, which is also known as Prasuk Wellness System. Likewise, in Hinduism or in Sanatan Dharma, we say tamas, rajasic, and sattvic. Similarly, we have new three words, which are similar to it. That is Raudra, Artha, and Prasuk. Raudra means the tamasic. Artha means the rajasic, means overconsumption. Similarly, when you go for more and more sattvic kind of life, your life becomes pure, controlled. You have complete balance over your mind, over your speech, over your physical activities, complete consciousness, and that gives you a bliss. That gives you a bliss. To feel this bliss, preventive wellness is mentioned in the name of Prasuk. Prasuk means to achieve that ultimate bliss.
Okay. So this Prasuk Wellness is only a part of Jainism?
It is named. Anybody can follow this. Anybody can follow this system. It is only made of two things. That is following the laws of universe and standing by Mother Nature. That is Prasuk Wellness.
Muniji, since you spoke about Prasuk Wellness, let's start with food. I was researching a statistic where I found out that the Jain food industry in India is over 1500 crores, 1500 crores in India. And if you look at the global estimates, by 2033, it is touted to be $3.82 billion world over. If you start with the airlines, right? The best airlines, Emirates, Singapore Airlines, British Airways, etc., Qatar, they'll have Jain menus. I don't see Hindu menus. I don't see Islam menus. I don't see Ayurvedic menus, none of that, right? Top tier restaurants in New York, London, right? So many other places have Jain menus. The Jain food has become such a huge currency, right? So, tell me something about Jain food in detail, and also whether the Jain way of eating and consumption can be practiced by everyone or only a specific community.
You will be surprised to know that when people did not know what is protein, what is carbohydrate, and when people did not know how to classify food, Jainism had a very profound way of classifying food and the most simplest way of classifying food and wellness. How to nourish, how to give nutrients to your body. It has a very profound rule book also. So today I will like to discuss some of them, which will be very helpful to our audience also, and which can be followed by anybody, any layman. So whatever we consume food through our mouth, it is known as kavalahar. The grass, what we eat, kavalahar. This kavalahar is divided into four parts. One is asanam. Asanam means grains and pulses. The food which satisfies our hunger, that is asanam, grains and pulses. Then comes panam, the food that satisfies our thirst, that is panam, water gained from rains and rivers and wells, the flowing waters. Third is khaimam, that is the food which satisfies your hunger also and thirst also, for example cow milk. So asanam, anaj, grains and pulses, rice, dal, these are, they satisfy our hunger, they are solid. Then comes panam, water, river water, rain water, well water, the flowing waters. They actually have the potential to satisfy our thirst. Right now, we in cities we are having water from lakes. They actually don't have that potential to satisfy our thirst. You just go on drinking water, go on drinking. Might be your stomach gets full, but you won't be able to satisfy your thirst. The flowing waters, they satisfy your thirst. Then comes khaimam, means the items, the food which satisfies your hunger also and thirst also. And the fourth part is saimam, which doesn't satisfy your hunger also and doesn't satisfy your thirst also. These are only for medicinal properties. Means salt, namak, haldi, turmeric, they don't satisfy your hunger also, they don't satisfy your thirst also, but they are used for our medicinal properties. So these were the four kinds of classification of food. Now we have a rule book that we shouldn't eat the food which is under the ground, because when we eat from the plants, when we pluck fruits from the plant or things from the plant, the plant remains over there, it is alive. But when you remove the roots, the whole plant is destroyed.
Okay.
You should not destroy from the root. So we don't eat root food. Now we eat all the food which is grown above and which is non-stimulative. Now, how we take care that our food is not stimulative? For example, in the morning when the sun rises, the environment is cool. So at that time, we have a tradition of having cool foods, means milk or halwa or these kinds of things, which are actually coolant to the body. Again, in the evening also, when the temperature goes down and when again the environment goes cool, we eat khichdi, dalia, so that our body does not get stimulated in the night. If we want to have at all any stimulative food, we have it in the afternoon. Even though we eat how much ever stimulated food in the afternoon by following these rules, we don't get acidity. See, you get acidity in the evening, you may get acidity in the morning. Have you ever heard anybody saying that I have acidity in the afternoon? No, it doesn't start in the afternoon because the sun helps you to eat. So when the temperature is hot outside, you can have hot food inside.
Okay.
When the temperature means, I'm not talking about the temperature of the food, I'm talking about the nature of the food. Hot food means spicy food, and the cool food means which is alkaline food, which makes your body alkaline. So these kind of foods have to be eaten according to the temperature of the environment also. Never will you get acidity, never will you get diabetes. This kind of rule book, if you follow only three things: eat cool things in the morning, eat cool things in the evening, and eat spicy things in the afternoon. If you follow in the three things, then also you can overcome all the sickness and illness coming out of nutrition. And nowadays, it is found rich people are dying because of malnutrition. Previously, we used to listen that malnutrition is in poor people. Nowadays, malnutrition is in rich people because they eat all the junk food, all the packed food, and all the useless food, and they don't give nutrition to their body. And that is why even rich people are falling sick and rich people are falling ill. So, this is the modern malnutrition of rich people.
Nice, nice. Munichi, you mentioned that in the evenings you should have cooling foods, but many sciences tell us that you should not have cooling foods in the evening, such as you should not have salads, you should not have cucumbers, you should not have curd, you should not have buttermilk in the evenings. But you say all of these foods are fine in the evenings, as per Jainism?
So actually, I'm not talking about the cooling foods which you told. You told these foods, according to Jainism, are vegan. They are stimulating foods. There are six stimulating foods. I would like to mention these six stimulating foods are sugar, jaggery, oil, milk, curd, and ghee. These are actually vigor, vikruti. They generate stimulations. If you over drink milk, you will fall in the trap of loose motion. You will lose your digestive system. If you eat more sugar, more jaggery, more oil, your body will actually get stimulated. Now, we have a classification over here also. We have three stimulants plant based. Sugar, jaggery, and oil are plant based stimulants, and three are animal based stimulants: milk, curd, and ghee. We don't have butter, we don't have honey because they are overstimulants. Honey, butter, non vegetarian, these are overstimulants. So we are not allowed to eat those overstimulants at all.
When you say overstimulants, can you help us understand the repercussions that it has on the body and the mind upon consumption?
Yes. So actually, butter, when you heat the butter, when the butter is processed, you get ghee. But butter is actually not to be consumed by us. According to Jainism, butter is not fully cooked. Butter is half cooked food. Similarly, honey is also not fully cooked food.
Correct.
That is also half cooked food. So, such kind of foods we don't have to eat.
What happens if we eat them? What happens in the physical and the mental body?
Simple, it gets stimulated. Your body gets over energized. Either you have to work more, but if you have sedentary lifestyle, you cannot consume this even an ounce. If you have a sedentary lifestyle and if you consume these things will get stored in your body. And for next years and years, even if you try to clear them out, they won't get cleared out. They will create toxins in your body and they will create mental, emotional, not only physical illness. They have that capacity to create depressions also. They have that capacity for memory loss also, for Alzheimer also, for each and every chronic disease. If we go into the root, these overstimulants are the roots. Non-vegetarian, honey, butter, cheese, or vichalit ras like paneer. These foods are overstimulants. They don't help you spiritually or to live a longer life for longevity.
Okay. So you're saying that they don't get digested very quickly and can stay in the stomach for years on end?
Absolutely. These things break down and stay in your body for years. They don't get digested. And it happens that if you try to remove them also, they don't go out. It's that way. These were basic principles for food. Now, each and every food has its own properties and own rule book. Like for water, when water should be drunk. You have to drink water early in the morning before you eat anything because that water detoxifies your body. And water is the only element that can help to generate heat in your body. Now you will ask how water can generate heat in your body. Our ancient scriptures have a simple science, as we know today also, that in summer season, the molecules get expanded in summer season when it's heat, when it's hot. And when the molecules get condensed when it is cold, it gets more solid. Similarly, water is the form of expanded molecules, not condensed molecules. So when it is expanded molecules, it has the capacity to grow your heat. So when the water goes in our stomach, it gives access to acids, it gives access to our body. And as you know, our body has 70% it is made of water. So it needs water again and again, again and again, again and again. So water is the most important ingredient for longevity and fire in our body. Fire creates longevity and water can help creating fire. So that is why whenever you fall ill or sick, you go to the doctor and doctor says, Pani pijiye, pani pijiye, pani pijiye. Now, you have to make a rule book for water. Means early in the morning you have to drink 1 or 2 glasses of water. Then whenever you eat food, you have to drink water before you eat food. Have you gone to a dentist anytime? When a dentist, he cleans your teeth, he pours water into it
Correct.
so that it comes in shape. If the dentist does not pour the water into it, your teeth will break into pieces. Like without pouring the water, when you cut the tile breaks into pieces. Similarly, our teeth will also break into pieces. Our body needs water. When we have food, solid things, it needs to be broken into pieces. So, first, before eating any food, even solid food, you have to drink water. Now, the second rule for drinking water is after your half meal, suppose you are eating 4 chapatis and 2 bowls of rice, then after 4 chapatis, you have to drink 1 glass of water and then you have to eat 2 bowls, small bowls of rice, and your food is over. So you have to cut your food into half, and at that time, you have to drink 1 glass of water. That also helps your food to get digested very nicely. Now, after having your food, lunch, dinner, or anything, you don't have to drink water. You have to drink only that much water that cleans your mouth and your tongue, not more than that. After having food, after 2 hours, you can drink water.
So immediately after food, just one sip of water to cleanse my mouth. And then I don't drink significant quantities, at least leaving a gap of 2 hours. What is the science behind that?
Yeah. So when you already have the food and previously you've not given water, so now you'll start feeling thirsty.
Correct.
Because body will ask you for water. Now at that time when you drink water, what happens is after the solid food, the water gets digested. So when the water won't penetrate inside, first solid food will be there. That will be broken into pieces. Now again what will happen is the water will get mixed with the acid and it will create acidity.
Correct.
Each and every food, what enters into a stomach has particular acid to digest it. There is not only one acid in our body that digests all the food. There is no master acid. Our stomach has different kinds of acids to digest different kinds of foods.
Okay.
And when you eat multiple items in your lunch, dinner, or breakfast, and when your whole stomach tummy is full, your body will ooze out acids. And upon that, when you drink water, the whole stomach will be full of acid and you'll suffer acidity. So you don't have to drink water after having lunch, dinner, breakfast, or any kind of food. 2 hours at least.
Superb. And prior to eating food, when can I have water?
Half an hour before eating food.
Okay.
Normally. So suppose if we say in our scriptural way, it is 24 minutes, ek ghadi. And after having your dinner, it is cho ghadiya, char ghadi. 48 minutes, 2 times, 1.5 hours.
Okay. What about drinking water between my meals?
Yeah, that is an amazing. Not drinking sip by sip, but drinking 1 glass of water in between your meals.
Between just halfway, right? So I'm having 4 chapatis. After having 2 chapatis, I'll drink one full glass of water and then continue with
Now,
two
not
chapatis.
this I've just given an analogy that drinking one full glass of water is not necessary one full glass of water. It depends upon the quantity of food you consume. So if you are consuming 2 chapatis, then it is half glass of water. If you are consuming 4 chapatis, it is full glass of water.
Halfway through my food, I consume water.
Yes.
And the science behind this, if you can just tell us one more time.
Yeah. So when you drink water in between the food, what happens is the food what you are having inside actually gets easily equally divided. The intestine needs to understand what kind of food is coming. When you drink water, it is easily able to break the food into parts. When the solid is coming, it will be not able to divide the food easily. Water helps to divide the food easily, and according to that food, it will ooze out the digestive acids.
Because every food has different digestive acids.
Absolutely.
Okay, super. I heard that there are 21 kinds of waters in Jainism.
Yes, there are 21 kinds of not waters, healing waters.
Okay.
Healing waters means alkaline water.
Huh.
So these waters are generated from our general food. Like one of them is the water soaked with rice. This water helps you in healing each and every acidic sickness. Means like fever, whatever creates heat in your body can be healed by rice water.
Chawal ka pani.
Chawal
rice
ka
water.
pani, rice water, rice soaked water.
Any gut health related problems?
Any gut health related problems and related to acid. Any food that is generating heat in your body, any symptom that is generating heat in your body can be healed by rice soaked water. Then gooseberries water. Gooseberries water, I have healed more than 5,000 people of arthritis out of only gooseberries water. Even rheumatoid arthritis, I have healed patients having rheumatoid arthritis only through this gooseberry water. Nothing else. No medicines, no yoga, no pranayam, nothing. Only gooseberry water. It has a proportion to be consumed in each seasons. If you consume gooseberry water in each season according to your body, because many have a dry body. So gooseberries shouldn't be consumed alone. Then they have to be consumed with honey. Somebody have very oily body, they can have gooseberry water. I will share insights hair related problems. People are suffering hair related problems because of spicy food eaten in the evening. If you don't eat spicy foods in the evening and have halwa in the morning, and there is a Mahim halwa in Mumbai, if you eat Mahim halwa for 45 days and not eating spicy food in the evening, a normal person can heal this hair fall. I have healed many through such experiments. Halwa is a very good tradition of our ancestors. If we follow this halwa therapy also, we can heal many things. Through this maize starch halwa, we can heal typhoid also. Typhoid, if you eat 45 days maize halwa for 45 days, the after problems of typhoid, the next 45 days, sometimes it repels again. So these all can be recovered by eating maize halwa for 45 days.
Avla in Ayurveda is known as a rasayan, three dosha ahar, right? Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Shamana. It pacifies all the three doshas. So we say that, you can have one amla. Yoga says it, Ayurveda says it, that if you have one amla every day, usually in modern sciences, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. I had an Ayurveda charya recently. She said, have an amla a day, keep the doctor away. Will Jain endorse this statement, have amla a day and keep doctor away?
No, we won't endorse this statement because it is claimed that any food cannot give you the same result in every season and every day. So we don't accept everything what is running in the modern days, because modern days is completely commercialized. Right now, they have started propagating beetroot. Previously, they were propagating olive oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Days come and they start propagating few things.
Correct.
But this is not allopathy way of living. You have to live a personalized way. And personalized way, Jainism teaches. Previously, when I used to have such kind of foods, I used to suffer many things. And then after about 6 months, when I tried many things, and then finally my Guruji guided me, you have to eat only this. And from that day till today, mostly I've never fallen ill. I don't allow myself to fall ill or sick. I don't remember when I have eaten last medicine pill. Whatever has an Indian name should be eaten in India. For example, cake does not have an Indian name, don't eat. Biscuit does not have an Indian name, don't eat. Halwa, jaggery has an Indian name, eat it. It helps you to eat in India. It helps you wellness to stay well in India.
Superb, superb. French fries you shouldn't eat in India. Sugar you should not eat in India.
Ice
Yogurt.
cream, it does not have an Indian name. You cannot say Himmalai. It is ice cream only.
But kulfi you can eat.
Kulfi is a weird crossbreed.
Muniji, what are some of the foods that people consume in their daily lives, which as per Jainism one mustn't consume?
Absolutely. So as I previously said that we shouldn't consume overstimulating foods. First, we don't consume everyday vigor. Means we don't consume sugar, jaggery, oil, milk, curd and ghee every day we don't consume.
Okay.
Then we don't consume root foods. No root foods, no underground foods are consumed every day.
Carrots, turnip, radish, aloo, potatoes, anything else?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Nothing, no root foods.
Okay, because it uproots the entire plant.
Yes.
Or the entire tree. That's the idea, right?
Yes.
And you're killing a major part of the life in comparison to just plucking something from the tree. Plucking is fine. I can pluck a mango and eat.
No, it is not fine.
Okay.
One which is fallen down. It is ripened and fallen down.
Okay.
Just forcefully ripening something and forcefully plucking. So means it is only two things, either heal or harm. If you harm anything and you consume it, you will get harmed. If you heal anything and you consume it, you will get healed.
So you're saying that if I pluck a mango on the tree, which is looking ripe to me, and it may be ripe, that'll harm me and not heal me, even if it's a ripe mango on a tree?
See, this is on a higher spiritual level. When you reach to a spiritual level, at higher level, at that time you won't consume, you won't allow anybody to harm the tree also. So at that time you won't consume that fruit which is plucked from the tree. In normal life, people don't feel this karuna, compassion, they don't feel. But when you go to a higher extent of spiritual level, then you feel that compassion for even a small living being. So at that time, you don't eat foods that are plucked from the trees, because by harming the tree, you are harming your own self.
Because in a sense, that sense of oneness, right? That being, that life is a part of me. We will not have chilies now. I can't have chilies at all. After especially I came back from the ashram and got initiated. Red chilies, green chilies, I now cannot stomach. But again, those have aphrodisiac quality. So does Jainism say that chilies should also not be had?
Yes.
Yeah?
Spicy foods stimulate our mind.
Okay. What about black pepper?
My Guruji used to say that red chilies should be banned. We should not eat red chilies. Red chili powder, it causes Alzheimer.
And the adulteration is a separate matter. I think the spice industry is one industry which is the most adulterated, right? What about black pepper?
Black pepper is a positive food. Generally, when we do fasting and when we break our fasting 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 days fasting, black pepper is a medicine for us. It helps to stabilize the acids in the intestine. So there are foods which stimulate, we don't eat them daily, and we have a kind of detailed fasting and eating food system, a diet system. So basically, there are many fruits which have multiple seeds, like cucumber, tomato. It does not have one seed, it has multiple seeds. So these kind of foods are also eaten less, or no such kind of foods are eaten. Even in summer season, we don't eat leafy vegetables. We consume leafy vegetables only in winter season. We don't consume leafy vegetables in rainy seasons, in monsoons, and in summer seasons. We don't consume leafy vegetables like palak and all, we don't consume them. It has a science.
Okay.
In winter season, your body gets demoisturized. At that time, you need moisture. Now, here comes the analogy. What is difference between fruit and vegetable? If you ask to Google, the Google is not answering what is difference between fruit and vegetable. It gives complex answers.
Yeah.
A simple answer is a fruit is that thing that has glucose, sugar, and vegetable is that thing that has oil. So simple. So we eat leafy vegetables which has oil in winters to moisturize the body. And then in summers, we don't need to moisture the body, because in summers, your body does not get demoisturized. In summers, your body gets dehydrated. At that time, you need sugar. So we consume mangoes. So if you ask me a detailed diet type, what Jains should eat, I cannot give you a specific diet, permanent diet. It is Dravya, Kshetra, Kal and Bhav. Now the same diet is not only followed seasonal, but it is also followed according to area. Suppose you are living in Bangalore, where it's raining every day. We eat the least amount of leafy vegetables in Bangalore. But similarly, if we are staying in Ladakh or somewhere, we need highest amount of leafy vegetables in such places. So it depends upon place what you are staying.
To continue watching shorter pieces of this content, you can subscribe to Shloka Clips on YouTube. You know, the true joy is experiencing freedom in discipline, right? I think many people don't realize that, especially the youth. They feel like waking up late in the morning, going out partying, having unriddled, physical relationships. That is freedom. But I think from the little yoga that I have done, and many people who are in the path of spirituality will be able to understand that there is so much freedom and discipline, right? Fasting is huge in Jainism. I think as a child, when I got introduced to fasting, it was not through the Hindu way of living or the yogic way of living, it was through the Jain way of living. And I was born in Bombay. So there's a lot of prevalence of Jainism and the Jain way of living. Ayurveda calls fasting Langana Paramaushadham. Fasting is the ultimate medicine. In yoga, it is said that if you fast, right, within a few weeks, 50% of your diseases can go away. And if you do prolonged fasting, up to 80% of the diseases can be easily reversed. From the Jain lens, I would like to understand fasting in detail, because what is followed in other cultures and other spiritual traditions, Jainism takes it to a whole new level, right? I don't see this kind of extreme fasting anywhere. So please take us through this and the scientific basis of this.
Jainism has a proper classification of fasting. Having one time food, having two times food means you can start from intermittent fasting to complete fasting. All kinds of classifications are given in Jainism. When it was asked to most renowned dietitians of the whole world that what is one thing that can cure weight gain, they all answered only one thing, that is fasting. There is no medicine can help you weight gain or weight loss. Only one thing that can help you is fasting. So fasting is divided into 10 parts. The first type of fasting is not to eat in the night. Night fasting is compulsory, because the only thing that can give you life, or that can give life to the food, or that can give actually energy to your body is sun. Any food that grows on the ground, the sunlight falls on the food and that food gets energy. That life energy gives us energy to live. If you are not having sunlight falling on the food, or if you don't have the sunlight falling in your kitchen, the person whose kitchen is without sunlight is always sick. You see two people, those who don't have sunlight in their house, in the kitchen, the house is always sick. Every 2 or 3 months they will fall ill.
Yes, you're right. Correct.
So first thing in food, what we have to consider is the sunlight. For us, we say night fasting means Ratri Bhojan Tyag. Ratri Bhojan Tyag means what? Where there is no sun, you have to avoid that place.
Even building a home in that place?
Even Sweden and Norway also. For 6 months when there is no sun, and if you are eating that food, that will not give you spiritual elevation.
Which is why perhaps in Vastu they say you shouldn't buy homes which are not east facing, and east facing homes are the most positive. I'm assuming it comes from this spiritual understanding.
Absolutely. So the kitchen should have the sunlight in the sunlight falling in the kitchen. The food gets digested through sunlight. So the first rule is not to eat in the night. Now the second rule starts, the second classification starts. Eat after 48 minutes of sunrise. That is your first practice. Never eat before sunrise or never eat during sunrise. This is a Sandhya Kal. Like when two seasons are changing, and if you eat at that time, you'll fall sick. We have two Navratris while the season change.
Acha, that's why people don't eat, because the season is changing during Navratri.
Similar in the daytime also, we have a season change. Means it was night and now it is becoming hot. So at that time, 48 minutes after the sunrise, then it becomes stable. Until then, it is that season transition. You shouldn't eat while the transition. This is the second kind of fasting. In the evening also, while it is transiting, means the sun is just getting set. At that time also, you shouldn't eat. You should eat before 24 minutes of the sunset.
Either before or after?
In the evening, it is before 24 minutes before the sunset, and in the morning, it is 48 minutes after the sunset.
That you should eat your food?
Yes. That is the time of the intermittent fasting. Means basically time is 48 minutes after the sun rises and 25 minutes before the sun sets.
I have a question here. Typically in India, major parts 6:15 sunrise happens, right? So you said I should have my first meal 48 minutes after sunrise, right? So roughly about 7:15 I can have my food. Okay. And in the evening you said?
24 minutes before the sun sets.
Okay. All right. So again 6:15 in the evening. So about 5:30 I should eat my food. What if I have it after Sandhya Kala? In the evening and morning mein to khai rahe hain. In the evening, what if I have my meal after Sandhya Kala, which is say around 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock?
That is known as two kind of food. That is either Rajasic or it is Tamasic. Tamasic means whatever is grown or whatever is consumed or whatever is used in the absence of sunlight. Tamas means Andhakara. So the moment the sun sets, it is Andhakar everywhere. These lights are not actually Prakash. They are alternatives of Prakash.
Correct.
Prakash is only one. That is sunlight. So if we don't have sunlight, your intestine, your stomach, your system will not produce the healing ingredients if you eat after the sunset. Healing ingredients are produced only in the presence of sunlight.
Okay. And I'm assuming better digestion as well, because Chaturagni corresponds with the sunlight, right? As Ayurveda says.
It gets a better digestion, and the most potential elements can be extracted by our body in the presence of the sunlight.
Okay, the next kind?
The third kind is, it is known as porsi. Means when your shadow of the body is similar to your height. Means when the sun comes 45 degrees in the sky, your height is equal to the length of your shadow. So this is Purush and your shadow is known as Paurushi. This is the third kind of fasting. Means you eat after Paurushi, after the sun comes at the 45 degrees in the sky. This is the third kind of fasting. Now next kind of fasting is eating food only once in the afternoon. So actually what it is, the food, I will tell over here three things. The food which can sustain itself outside for a longer period of time will remain in the body also for a longer period of time. Like chips and all, they stay 15 days outside, they will stay in the body also, they won't get digested.
Burgers, pizzas,
Yes.
processed foods.
Everything. And the foods which get decayed outside get digested inside very easily. So when you eat such kind of foods only once in a day, they actually heal your body at once. The inflammations and the nutrients what your body needs, you eat only once and it will absorb everything. Actually, you will be surprised to know that foods don't heal our body. The body's healing capacity extracts from the food. You eat only one grain a day. One grain a day. You eat only, today you eat only rice. Today you ate only wheat. Today you ate only moong. Body will extract whatever it needs in every kind of food. So actually medicines don't heal, foods don't heal. The body's healing capacity heals.
Body's own intelligence heals.
Yes, that is the cell intelligence. Body has its own cell intelligence. So it knows what I need to extract. Have you seen any time that you eat 1 kilo of diabetes medicine and your body gets out of diabetes? No.
No.
Body has a limited capacity to extract things, very little things. It won't stimulate. It will extract very little things. If you do it forcefully, then it will go imbalanced. But if you do it normally, then it will little consume. So basically, it is that when you consume only once a day, only one meal a day, but this is also has to be done under the guidance of a guru,
Okay.
according to the kshetra, according to the kala, according to the bhava, and according to the dravya. Means the food also what you consume. Like suppose if you are consuming only once, and if you are eating only chana kurmura, it won't heal your body. So at that again you have to see the place and area. Like for example, when we are in Mumbai and it is too rainy, we have food only once because that food also takes a longer time to digest. So that is ekashna now, having in the afternoon. Then again, I said you asram panam khaimam saimam. When you eat all the four, it is ekashna. When you eat only first, second, and the last, you don't eat the middle one. That is doodh, dahi, ghee, shakar, gur. You don't eat the vigar, the khaimam part. If you don't eat the stimulants, if you don't eat, you eat grains and pulses. You have water and you have the medicinal properties. That is known as nivigayam. Now this helps you to reverse of all kind of glucose problems in the body, be it asthma, be it diabetes, be it anything. Now then the third comes that only boiled grains and pulses you eat, that is known as iambil. It helps you to reduce or reverse every kind of problems created by oils, ghee, and cholesterol and all. Right now there is a problem known as gallbladder
Oh,
stone.
big.
It is not big.
Yeah.
It is a racket.
Ah.
Huh.
Oh.
What is a gallbladder stone? There is nothing like gallbladder stone. It is all the malnutritious part, all the undernutritious part of our food. They are all the toxins get collected out of the oils. Gallbladder stones are not stones. They are the accumulation of the different toxins of oils.
Okay, but then the reason that people go for gallbladder surgery is, in fact, our editor, right, who edits videos, in his 20s, early 20s, he had a gallbladder issue, right? Stones. It became a problem when it began paining him. In fact, he was doing a shoot for me and it began paining him at that point. So, why would these toxins then, create pain and suffering in the human system?
Any toxins create pains in the body.
Correct. So, given that it is a problem, it needs to be uprooted. So, if someone is going for surgery or whatever, finding ways like medicines to resolve it, why is that a problem?
It is a tamasic thing. Why you need to remove the whole organ? You just need to do this kind of fasting. Means boiled grains and pulses. You have boiled dal chawal every day for 45 days and your gallbladder stone vanishes.
Oh,
And we have followed this procedure for many of our followers and disciples. None of them go for gallbladder surgery. They have this iambil kind of food. When I practice this iambil kind of fasting, means consuming only boiled grains and pulses, nothing else. No salt, no flavor added to it. Only the boiled grains when I have. And I have practiced this many times. Sometimes for 50 days, sometimes for 100 days. And we do this even for our swadhyay. Means to learn scriptures also, we have to do fasting. Means like we have a sutra known as Dashvaikalik Sutra. For that, we have to do this 10 days fasting. Then for Bhagavatri Sutra, we have to do this for 180 days. So whenever I do this Aimbil kind of fasting on boiled grains and pulses, and if that is elongated for 40, 50 days, many times I have experienced that my throat, it does not get dehydrated. 24 it is hydrated. So these kind of fastings, they help your body to get balanced. And once I had a small cyst surgery also. It was like a fasting of 30 days. past 30 days, I was only on water. And after that 15 days, this was all done under the guidance of my guru, who himself is 87 years old. So it was not just like somebody heard and somebody started doing it. Is not that. I'm practicing this from past 25 years. So after 25 years, when I underwent this kind of fasting, and after that I had a surgery of a cyst. At that time, when the doctor saw the reports, he told that this is the most ideal report I have ever seen of my patient suffering from these kind of problems. Means fasting helps us actually to maintain the sapta dhatus: rasa, rakta, mansa, meda, asthi, majja, shukra. It helps, fasting helps to maintain our sapta dhatus.
Okay, and all of these fastings anyone can do, but it has to be under the supervision of a guru, right?
Absolutely. Again, I would like to emphasize Dravya, Kshetra, Kal, and Bhav. This is visualized by the Guru, and according to his guidance, a disciple should follow his own capacities and grow. Like when you go to a gym, at that time, the trainer tells you to pick up 15 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. Similarly, if you directly pick up some, you'll have a muscle tear, you'll have a ligament tear. Similarly, it happens in our body also, that if you suddenly do some kind of fasting, it will create some inflammation or it will create some imbalance. You have to do everything under the guide. I would like to also talk about the last fasting, that is the total fasting only on hot water, nothing else. So this kind of fasting, why it is done in Jainism? Now I would like to take to the spiritual part of this kind of fasting, why these things are there in Jainism. So you will be surprised to know every religion in this world, every religion in this world follow ceremonies in their prayer places, like birth ceremony, marriage ceremony, and the death ceremony. It is known as Janam Paran Maran. These are celebrated in each and every temple. Like you go to the Gurudwara, there also Guruji, they perform these ceremonies. You go to some masjid also, there also Mullaji, he performs all these practices for nikah. Then they have that graveyard, Kabristan. When you go to some Christian church also, the father helps you, the pastor helps you following these ceremonies. No Jain temple follows these ceremonies. There is no shadi, no marriage in Jain temples. There is no kind of death ceremonies or birth ceremonies in Jain temples.
Okay.
Why? Why? Because Jainism is totally focused on the soul existence. Janam, Paran, Maran, birth, marriage, and death happens of the body. And Jainism says that Jainism is the core and the heights of spirituality. And that is why you will find every ritual and every ceremony, like in Deepavali, people will have mithai. But in Jainism, we will do upvas. In Navratri, people will have all kinds of foodstuffs. But in Jainism, we will do Ayambil. In Pajushan also, we will do upvas. Because everything is focused on soul. Everything goes on soul, not on the body. So now we follow these fasts, complete fasts, while we are living also, and then at the end of our life also. When we come to know, now this body is not working right now, one of our Satijis, she is suffering from cancer. So she is going to start fast unto death after few days. When a person comes to know that nothing is left in my body, doctors have told completely we are not going to do anything. When nothing is left, then we leave the body. We celebrate by leaving the body. And that is the highest kind of fasting in Jainism. It is known as Anshan Sandhara.
There is also something called a Sallekhana.
Yes, this
Is
is this is what I'm telling. The alternative name for Anshan Sandhara is Samlekhana.
So I'm just trying to process this, that it's a voluntary fast unto death. Either I'm too old, correct, and I feel like my body organs are not working, then I can do it. Or if I have some medical issue and I know that there is no healing or recovery from this, then I can do this, right? And yeah,
It is termed as Apachimam Marnantiya Samlehana. Means Apachimam means now after Marnantiya. Now I can see only death, nothing is left. Then only I can do this.
And this kind of a death, which happens after fasting, can lead me to liberation?
Yes.
100%?
Yes. 100% it gives you to liberation out of body and karmic bondages.
There will be no birth again if I live like this, fast unto death?
Yes. And everybody cannot follow this. There are one out of millions who can do this.
Yeah?
Yeah. At that moment, you are the most depressed. You will see all old age people, they are sick and they are most depressed. You tell somebody, Arey, aapka kidney fail ho gaya, your kidney is failed, they come into depression. You tell somebody you are in cancer, they come into depression. These people, after learning that we are in cancer, they feel so happy that my ultimate day came of liberation. They are one out of millions. This is a result of sadhana.
I came across a statistic in my research that there was a clinical trial done with 110 volunteers who were Jains, and they did prolonged fasting. And after that, it was revealed that their weight reduced, their BMI index was better, their lipid profiles, their blood pressure, sense of calmness, all of it was great, stress was low. So we have clinical evidence backing that Jain kind of fasting can do wonders for your physical health and mental health.
Yes, even Japanese have evolved a system known as autophagy. This kind of fasting gives autophagy, means if you follow this fasting for 72 hours, 3 days, the whole body reverses.
Uh-huh.
And the scientist who found this has been awarded a Nobel Prize also.
We've spoken extensively about food and fasting, learned insights from you that I'd never heard before, honestly. Let's come to the second part of wellness now. What is that?
The second part of wellness or anatomy of a Saptadhatu, how our body is formed. Our body is the DNA of our body is coded in the form of Saptadhatu. So these Saptadhatu, they have a particular nature and a particular period of evolving. Now, over here, one thing I would like to mention that why we can reverse diabetes very easily. It can happen within 14 days. If you try to manage your food and exercise, believe me, exercise is not torturing your body, but exercise is exorcism on toxins. Like
Interesting, huh?
you want to remove a ghost from somebody, you'll do exorcism, right? So if you want to remove toxins from your body, you'll do exercise. When you do exercise, why we do exercise? What is the actually basic fundamental why we do exercise? See, it's simple. There is a gutter flow in our building, right?
Yeah.
Where are all the dirt and toxins collected in the gutter? They are always collected on the joints. When your washroom gets flooded, you will pump the pipes and you will find where are those all toxins collected on the joints. They get collected on the joints. This similar system applies to our body. Our body is like a kind of gutter where everything flows. Now, where are all the toxins collected? They are collected at the joints. Where? Knee joint, your hips, your neck, spondylosis. Wherever there is a joint,
Shoulders, elbows.
whether it is your arteries and veins going towards your heart or anywhere, all the toxins are collected over there. So it's simple. So when your washroom gets flooded, what you do? You pump them. Exercise is pumping those toxins. It is as simple as this. If you do regular cardiac exercises and all the joint exercise in every exercise, your toxins will go out and you will never fall ill or sick.
So, my follow up question is that if our saptadhatus are well functioning and in good order, what are the kind of healing benefits that we get?
So basically, we have to do a lot of metabolic activities daily, continuously, and we are undergoing a lot of wounds and healing process the whole day. The whole day. The whole day, our dhatus are stressed, they undergo pressures, and the whole day they get healed. So, suppose if we do exercises and we balance all these, we balance our food, then all the dhatus will maintain themselves. They have their own cell intelligence. They will create the immunity by themselves and they will maintain their levels themselves. If at all they forget maintaining themselves, then again you will fall sick. So we need to balance our exercises. So it is that said that you should sleep for 6 hours in 24 hours. then you should stand for 6 hours, means not continuously, after intervals. You should have walking for 6 hours, means not continuously. You should, after little time, you should be moving your legs, and you should sit for 6 hours. So 4 things: 6 hours sleeping, 6 hours standing, 6 hours sitting, and 6 hour walking. This 24-hour cycle should be maintained every day. आगे
And
पीछे.
sleeping is also 6 hours.
Yes, sleeping minimum.
Okay.
These are all minimum things what we can do.
Breathing in Jainism is not just considered a biological process, it is known as Jivatma. It's a living entity. Tell us about breathing in terms of wellness in Jainism.
Just for humor, if anybody goes to a Jyotish, he will ask first question, मैं कितने साल जीऊंगा? How many years I am going to live? So the reality is, a person does not live according to the time, a person lives according to the breath. The more you are able to balance your breath, the more you will be able to live longer, like the tortoise. And there is a specific kind of breath count given in Jainism. Breath is not only taking in and taking out. Many times what happens, we say that I'm not able to realize when I get angry. मुझे पता है कि मुझे गुस्सा नहीं करना. I know that I don't have to get angry. But when the time comes, I don't realize that. I forget
Correct.
that.
Yeah.
Why this is happening? This is happening because of wrong kind of breath work. Anger is related to our breath.
Okay.
Now, what is the right kind of breath? If you just practice this one kind of breathing, that is taking your breath inside, having a pause known as kumbhak, then exhaling outside, then there is a pause that is bahya kumbhak, then again inhaling. So if you will follow this Anulom Vilom, and with this system of inhaling, kumbhak, pausing, exhaling, kumbhak, pausing, it will directly affect your mind, that your mind will also react after taking a pause. The moment we breathe in, your oxygen first reaches the mind, then it reaches the lungs. When you yawn, what happens?
Yeah.
The oxygen goes first up. Then it goes into the lungs.
And that happens when we're sleepy because the brain needs more oxygen or the mind needs more oxygen.
Yes. So breathing is very important, and we need to control our breath. Now this Anulom Vilom, Chandraswar and Suryaswar, because of imbalance of the swaras, people are suffering from coma-like dangerous problems. Brain hemorrhages are happening because of imbalance in Chandraswar and Suryaswar. If you perform this breathing well, you will never fall into the trap of Alzheimer, or you will never fall into coma. So, oxygen is the most important element, not only to detox your brain, but to detox your whole body. All the toxins, ultimately they come and they settle in blood, and oxygen purifies the blood. So the one element which purifies your whole body is oxygen.
Ah, yes.
So if you do breathing properly, your whole life is balanced. Means you breathe properly, you go under the guidance of Guru properly, and your life is balanced. There are a lot of things to talk about pranayam and breathing, but this is the most untouched philosophy which everybody should know. So I touched to this philosophy which everybody should actually practice every day, that at least for 5 minutes they should do this practice. 3 seconds inhale, 3 seconds pause, 3 seconds exhale, 3 seconds pause. So this will make 12-second breath. So in 1 minute you will have 6 breaths. 12 second, 1 breath, 5 breaths in 1 minute. 60 seconds, 5 breaths in 1 minute. If you have lesser breaths than 5 breaths in 1 minute, means you are a yogi. But if you have more breaths than 5 breaths, so somebody, there have people I've seen, they take 10 breaths, they take 11 breaths in 1 minute, they are all rogi. They are all sick. So this also needs to be taken into consideration before doing any other pranayam. First pranayam we need is to control our breath, to monitor our breath to 5 breaths per minute, which is divided into 12 seconds each breath, and again divided into 3 seconds of each practice. Inhale, Antar Kumbhak, exhale, Bahya Kumbhak.
Muniji, Jainism as a religion or a way of life is ridden with a lot of hardships. Whether it is people who are on the path of monkhood, right? The munis, the brahmacharis, or it is the householders. Please tell us about the concept of hardships and what is the science and the basis behind this.
In Jainism, there is a philosophical tag, Shariram Khalu Moksha Sahanam, means this body is itself helping us to go to moksha. And how it is helping us to go to moksha? By bringing out the full potential of soul and body. And when we get the full potential, when we suffer, when we follow hardships. A person in gym, he follows hardships. A person in Gurukul, he follows hardships. A person who leaves his house and goes out to study, he also follows hardship. Everybody follows hardship. But they follow hardship till a limited extent for a certain goal. In Jainism, the hardship is to achieve the ultimate. That is moksha. That is,
Liberation from the cycle of life and death.
yes, liberation from the cycle of life and death. To attain moksha and to get nirvana, keval jnana, the ultimate cognitive quality of our soul, keval jnana. So recently, there was a Bollywood web series released named Manifest. In Manifest, there was a scientist. He experimented on about 50 human beings. He took them to the island without them knowing. He decepted them. He took a plane, he hijacked the plane, took all the human beings in that plane to an island. And then on the island, he experimented on them without them knowing. They were completely for 5 years, they were like in a state of coma for 5 years. So all the scientists used to give to them near to death experiences. They used to give them electric currents. Similar, these were sufferings similar to the third degree given to a person in a jail. Similar kind of tortures were given to them. And after 5 years of sufferings, when they came out in the same plane. They did not know that for 5 years what has happened to them. But they had developed one quality, that was similar cognitive skills. They were able to read each other's mind. And that was, according to Jainism, these kind of results which came from sufferings are actually tamasic. We follow the sattvic kind of sufferings which align with the nature. We undergo hardships to attain moksha, but aligning with the nature, not beyond the nature, not beyond the laws of universe. We also undergo heat. Like in the series, those people had to undergo heat, but they were tortured. We undergo heat of the sun with the nature. We don't burn fire and we don't take the heat from the fire. We just sit under the sun in summer seasons. So these kind of sufferings are very natural. These kind of sufferings are actually potential to give us the ultimate cognitive state, that is keval gyan, nirvana, moksha, freedom from every life and death and karmic bondage.
So, Muniji, you're saying that when we push ourselves physically and mentally, push our physical and mental limitations, our cognitive abilities get enhanced and also our pranic capabilities. As you mentioned, it takes us towards breaking the cycle of life and death, right? Muniji, help me understand why these people who were on the island under the controlled experiments, who were being made to go through these hardships and tortures, is of a tamasic nature. And why do you say that Jain monks or various other spiritualists from our Eastern yogic traditions or Buddhist traditions go through something similar and those are sattvic in nature? Please help me understand why tamasic and why sattvic.
Absolutely. So generally, each and every person undergoes hardships and sufferings. Why actually science came into existence in this materialistic world? Because nature has its controlling the cycle of universe. Its own way of, it has its own phenomena. The phenomenal cycles of this universe are infinite. They are going on and on and on. We adjust according to the nature. Previously, people used to adjust themselves according to the nature. But since the science progressed in materialistic world, science told now, you don't have to suffer. We will give you comforts. If you are feeling cold, we will give you heater. If you are feeling hot, we will give you AC, air conditioner. We will give you each and everything according whatever you need. They gave water coolers also. They gave us air conditioners also. They gave us air polluters and air purifiers. Everything is given by the science. So basically, we have two kind of existence. One is body existence and one is soul existence. Body is equal to suffering. Body has to feel the pain all the time. And soul is actually equal to happiness. Body can feel comfort, but body cannot feel happiness. Happiness is in soul. Soul can feel happiness, soul does not feel the sufferings. So while the body is feeling sufferings, the soul is gaining its potential.
Okay.
Now, what happens? The experiment which I'm talking about in the Manifest web series, they were tamasic because they were not done to bring out the potential of the soul. The purpose of that was bringing cognitive skills and making money.
Intention.
Yeah, when your intentions change, they become tamasic. Your life becomes tamasic. And when your intentions are true, earnest, and to the ultimate, to meet the universe, we stand by the laws of universe, we follow the nature, we respect Mother Nature, it becomes sattvic.
Among the many hardships in Jainism, right from, for example, as a child, I have seen Jain monks, traverse distances, right? Braving all kinds of weather, whether it is heat, cold, storms, they're walking barefoot, they're wearing a mask, their eating routines are very stringent, they don't have so many foods that for common people is second nature, right? So, the act of plucking the hair, which on the outset looks so painful. Tell me some of these hardships and what is the scientific basis behind these hardships?
Absolutely. This is a very beautiful science in Jainism. It is classified in a very sattvic manner. So first, we divide all the activities done by body. Body does 6 kind of activities. First is sleeping, sitting, standing, eating, speaking, walking, running. These are basic activities. There are no other activities than this. What we do is we align all these activities in a sattvic manner, in a controlled manner to control ourselves. If we don't control ourselves, we will actually lose the happiness of our life. Whereas in Jainism, we manifest each and everything and we align to each and every activity, whether it is mental, whether it is verbal, or whether it is physical. So we classify each and everything. For example, we have 57 rules to speak. Whenever we speak, we follow 57 rules. Now, this we practice for 5 years. For 5 years, we practice how to speak. People talk about freedom of speech, but we talk about sattvic speech. The speech which does not hurt anybody. See, there are only two things. Either you heal or you harm. Our practices are to heal the world, not to harm the world. Jio or jine do, live and let live.
Correct.
Either it is blessings or it is a curse. So we live a life, we determine to live a life of blessings, to be blessed and be blessings for all. These kind of classifications are divided into total 8 parts. First is known as Iriya Samiti. Means whenever you walk, you don't raise your eyes beyond 3 to 5 feet of your walking distance so that you don't hurt any living being on the earth while you're walking. Similarly, when you speak, you have to avoid bad vocabulary, the words which are harsh, which are harmful, which may be truth according to you, but may not give good results. We don't have to speak over there. Keeping silence, keeping maun, doing maun sadhana, self silence, self imposed silence. So that is Bhasha Samiti. The third comes is Eshna Samiti, means how to nurture your body. There also, see, many people eat spicy things, and when they eat spicy things, they make such kind of gestures, and then what they say that I'm feeling pleasure, this is my pleasure, but actually it is a suffering. It is creating acidity inside,
And discomfort on the tongue.
discomfort on the tongue. Can anybody eat ice cream at once? No, it is a suffering. That cold touch is a suffering. Can anybody drink thumbs up at once? No, that is a suffering. But yet people want to suffer those things and want to pretend that it's my pleasure. This is an illusion. So that is why we avoid ourselves from such kind of illusions. We follow a particular practice to achieve the arms, to achieve the food from the layman, and we eat it as per the rules. We have 96 rules before we eat the food, 57 rules before we speak, 96 rules before we eat. And now there are approximately 120 rules before we touch anything. And then again, we have 1024 rules before we perform the practices of shauch to clean the body. How to excrete. We have 1024 rules.
Whoa.
This is the preventive wellness of Jainism. Means you bring out the full potential of the body through the hardships, sattvic hardships, and allow your body to live 125 years without getting any kind of illness or sickness.
Is that possible?
Absolutely.
Do we have people who are living for that long in Jainism?
Not only in Jainism, right now, whole of Japan, mostly 90% of the people are above 90 age. Even in our village, just before 20 years or 25 years, our dadajis, our nanis, everybody used to live 98 years, 100 years, 102 years. We have so many people living right now 90, 95, 96, and they are very healthy. They walk, they talk. Instead, right now, youngsters are feeling sick, ill. They are dying of heart attacks just at the age of 40, dying of cancer, dying of diabetes, because they don't have a preventive wellness sattvic lifestyle. Whereas our ancestors and elders, they all used to live, they all used to follow these hardships. Our all nannies and daddies, grannies, they used to work the whole day. They used to wash the dishes, they used to wash the floor. And because of these kind of not using the machine, but working on yourself, making your body as an experiment laboratory and whole day experimenting on your own potential. By doing this, our grandfathers and all the elders used to actually live for nearly 100 years.
So I'll quickly summarize the takeaways from this. Something which was eye-opening for me, I never thought of it like that. Beautiful. That through the day, we are constantly suffering, right? For example, sleeping late, waking up late. It is a suffering, but I have been conditioned into thinking that it is not suffering, right? Similarly, taking the cold water from the fridge when I come after a walk or I feel very hot, then I'm drinking cold water. That is also suffering, but somehow my mind plays tricks and makes me believe that it is not suffering. Through the day, the things which I feel are comfortable are not really comfortable, but they are suffering, and my mind makes me believe through illusion that it is the good thing. It is the more comfortable thing, correct?
Absolutely. We feel that this is the pleasure of my life.
When you were talking about removal of organs, and you said it was a racket now, uterus, hysterectomy among women, huge. I see every second lady, my mother's friend, going through a hysterectomy. My sister in her 40s has gone through hysterectomy, fibroids or this and that, right? So one is that. Tonsillitis, you remember in the 90s was a huge thing. They were getting me also operated, but my parents put me into swimming and it just went away after that, right? Among us, so I remember tonsillitis was a big thing. Uterus is now a very big thing among women, and gallbladder and appendix. So, are you telling me that all of these are then rackets and they're not needed? You don't have to remove your uterus if there is an issue. You don't have to.
No, I'm not telling that you don't need to them to be removed. But what is happening nowadays, doctors ask you, do you have insurance? You say, I have insurance. Now, if you have to get your one knee operated, your doctor says that get your second knee also operated both together. Now you are giving your live knee to him and you are taking him the artificial knee you are transplanting.
Because I have insurance.
I think this is the height of murkhata.
Absolutely.
So basically, I wanted to give one message to all our audience that don't do any kind of yogic practice or preventive wellness practice in the form of allopathic manner. This is the basic idea what I want to tell everybody. And second thing, if you want to learn preventive wellness, you should be prepared that I don't want to stimulate anything. I want to balance everything. If you have this confidence and this kind of stable mindset, believe me, you will have a life longevity. You can live for 100 years. I bless everybody. Me, myself, I have taken a determination that I'm going to live for at least 85 years. Nowadays, people say that I will die in 40, I will die in 30, I will die in 50. I say that I will live for 85 years, healthy, with my habits, with all these kind of breathing, etc., food habits. And I wish that everybody take this determination that why we want to die early. Let us live for long and bless our world, make this a heaven, and live an actual preventive lifestyle rather than living an allopathic way of life with allopathic way of manipulated yoga and manipulated wellness system. Let us come out of this myth. This is the only agenda behind me speaking about this wellness system.
Superb, superb. And just to add to that, Muniji, as a yoga teacher, people tell me, we should learn yoga through recorded, yoga sessions. Why are you doing retreats? And I was mentioning to you, we keep doing retreats all over. We do in-person classes. Bhai, energy process hai. How do you transfer energy through online, right? How do you do yoga through a book? How can you learn meditations, through a virtual medium? It's just not possible. And everyone says ki aap kyun nahi kar rahe ho, because there are so many others who are doing it and they don't realize that it's harming them, right? And the same thing, of course, with we want quick fixes in today's times. So even when we have master classes on our platform, Muniji, a challenge for me is how to present wellness and spirituality and well-being without making it an allopathic system, like you rightly mentioned. It's a huge challenge, but jitna bhi hota hai, we try to make it happen, and I'm so glad that you've made a mention of this. Muniji, I cannot thank you enough. Some podcasts are, in fact, most of the podcasts are that we go out and we choose guests. And there are very few podcasts where the guests choose us. So I think those are the blessed ones. We feel blessed when the guests choose us. So I'm so glad that we had this synergy where you chose us to deliver your message. So truly, truly privileged. Thank you so much. It's been so enlightening. You've been so selfless about this whole thing. So it's a huge inspiration, truly, to have you on our platform. So thank you so much for being a part.
Namaste.
Namaste.
In case you'd like to be a part of our online and in-person yoga, diet and spiritual programs, you can join our WhatsApp group below, where we post all our upcoming programs and give free tips on health, diet and lifestyle.